Good morning, everybody. So we thought we'd surprise you all and actually include you in a live podcast on Epicenter. That's why we're already sort of set up here. Is that okay? Everybody, the entire audience?
Everybody come up.
Yeah, fine, perfect. My name's Richard Muirehead. I think there might be a slide. Apparently, oh, there we go. And I'm at Fabric Ventures. And we are investing in this space. But I just want to kind of go through some housekeeping first. We're running a little bit behind time, but I'm sure we'll catch up in different ways. I think this team is already ready to do that. Is this clicking through? Here we go. Oops, slight delayed reaction. So first of all, a reminder to get with the program and get into the prediction markets that were launched yesterday. And there is a prize of 800 DAI, so get in there, and you obviously can make use of that lovely burner wallet that you've also been given. So that's the first little reminder. The second thing is there are going to be various sessions, and they're listed out here, and I will try and give reminders as we go along, where you can use Slido using these numbers to submit questions to the people who are on stage. And kind of the more further in advance they are, and obviously the more brilliant they are, the more likely they will get asked of the people on the stage. So I'll try and give some reminders as we go along, but obviously you want to get going right now with the ones for Epicenter. Next one is that there is a raffle, and we had a little typo there, it was a ruffle before, but now we've got a raffle, which is perfect, and you need to go and make sure that you have entered. And at the end of today, in the wrap-up by Stefan, I believe that the announcement will be made of the winners. And then, most importantly, in terms of housekeeping, there is an after-party on a boat. I think this is a boat that doesn't go anywhere. Is that correct? Is it a boat that doesn't go anywhere? I think it might be a boat that...
The boat to nowhere.
Yeah, it's a boat that doesn't go anywhere. But make sure you get there on time, but that means it's a little bit more flexible for getting on and off. But I'm sure you don't want to miss it anyway, and make sure you wear your bracelet. Great. So let's see what we're going to be given next. I think we're going to switch to another deck. Here we go. Okay, so I promised I wouldn't grandstand, but I wanted to do a little intro to our perspective on things and indeed a few impressions of the week so far here in Berlin Blockchain Week, which I think has been an incredibly bold move from people from both the US and Europe to put it sort of plumb right into the middle of holiday season. And I think it's been a testimony to the community that there have been so many people who have turned up, and it's been incredibly lively. This is, of course, we're right out here on the right-hand side of this diagram, but I think we're all participating in this incredible shift from something that I remember well, AOL and CompuServe back in the early 90s, and the very first examples of the browser from Web 1. And then shortly after Web 1, you had Tim Berners-Lee announcing that he wanted to construct the semantic web and get computers talking to each other in a sort of arbitrary, autonomous, fashion. But we had to go through Web 2. We had to suffer from, the tech titans grabbing hold of our data, but now we're sort of breaking out the other side. So this is our kind of little way of thinking about it. And we're in the business of working with entrepreneurs right across Europe. We're based in London, and definitely with a kind of global outlook. And I'll try not to plug too many of our portfolio companies as we're sort of going through the day. If you're looking back, I've taken a little look back at what's been going on, across the week. I've been through meetups and panels out of the kind of the major events like the Web3 Summit, but there's been a sort of consistent set of themes that keep recurring. From my perspective, and it won't surprise you, user experience is pretty important, but I think we're seeing some real strides in companies like Argent. I think interoperability is key. Indeed, one of our portfolio companies, Keep, have launched the trustless BTC with the kind of double peg between the Bitcoin blockchain and Ethereum and the whole DeFi ecosystem, so that's pretty exciting. More developer tools. I think we still know that it's not just a bad experience, a bad UX, let's call it bad at the moment, but it's also the DX is pretty critical. Centrifuge, great announcements with Tin Lake. The DAO and the re-DAO is kind of coming back. And I think another theme that, of course, I get picked up on quite a bit is what is happening with the fundraising environment. And is there a real fundamental change to venture capital? Or actually, there's an innovation in venture capital in coping with new instruments to invest in, new milestones for success, new analysis required around token economics, and we've got TEG obviously going on here as well. So looking forward for the rest of the day. We're going to get a general look at the state of the ecosystem live in a second. Looking forward to that, and it's great to put some faces to voices. I've been doing this morning in the context of Epicenter. And then governance design, that's pretty critical. Obviously, that relates directly in some context to the whole work on the DAO, but there's even more doubling down on DAOs from, amongst others, Amin, of course, today. And then I think in all of this, it's critical to work out, are we winning in general? How do we measure success? And try and learn, what is sort of idiosyncratic to this particular wave of computing, in terms of measurement. But ultimately, of course, we're all crying out for very widespread user adoption. And a final reminder that you get a chance to do an AMA, Ask Me Anything with Joseph Lubin, who apparently is going to be on stage even longer today than Build. So looking forward to all of that. And so without further ado, I think that should be the last slide. I will hand over to Frederica at Epicenter.